In the beginning, there was nothing at all, except God. God is love, and God loves to make things. In the darkness before the world began, the Spirit of God moved over the empty water. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The world was very beautiful. It was filled with life. God gave the people a special place to live, a garden where they had everything they needed. Warm sun and soft rain, trees with fruit to give them food, animals to care for and play with. And there was the snake, the craftiest of all God's creatures. And God said to the man and the woman, "Live in the world and love it and care for it. Take care of the animals and the plants, and you may eat of the fruit of all the trees in the garden, except for the one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And you must not touch that tree, or you will die." Well, the snake was the craftiest of all of God's creatures. And the snake said to the man and the woman, "Now what was that God said about the tree in the middle of the garden?" And they said, "Oh, we must not touch it or we will die." And the snake said, "Well, I have news for you. You won't die. If you eat that fruit, you'll become like God. You'll know everything God knows. You'll be able to do everything God does. Think of it. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want it. You can have what you want the minute you want it, nice and quick and easy. Try it. It'll feel good." And the man and the woman listened to what the snake said, and they said, "That would be good." And they reached out their hands and they took the fruit. They did what God had told them not to do, and it didn't make them feel big and strong and smart. They felt ashamed. They were ashamed of their bodies. They were ashamed of their thoughts. They blamed each other, and they were angry at each other, and they lied to cover up what they had done, and they hid from God, and they were scared of God, and God's voice became hard to hear, and the beautiful garden was gone. Now they lived in the wilderness, and their life was hard and bitter. And they began to die. The man and the woman had children and grandchildren, and they spread through the earth and fought over it. They lied and cheated and stole from each other and fought and hurt and killed each other and spoiled God's earth and worshipped strange and ugly gods. But in all the world there was one man who heard God's voice, And God called to him and said, Noah, Noah. And Noah said, Here I am. And God said to Noah, Build an ark and go into it with your family and all the animals, because I'm going to wash the world clean of wickedness and start over. And Noah did what God had said. He built the ark. And he went into it with all the animals, 2 by 2, the elephant and the kangaroo. Somewhere there's another kangaroo. There it is. Can't get along without 2 kangaroos. And the giraffe. And the bunny rabbit. Here's one. We'll probably find the other one in a minute. And the horses. And Simba and Nala. And even the skunks. He went into the ark with all the animals and closed the door, and it began to rain. And it rained, and it rained, and it rained. For 40 days and 40 nights it rained, and the waters spread over the earth until the whole earth was covered with water. Except for the ark, with Noah and his family and all the animals safe inside. And after 40 days and 40 nights, the rain stopped. And Noah opened the door of the ark to see what he could see. And he sent out a bird. And it flew round and round, but found no place to rest, and flew back to Noah. And Noah waited, and he sent out the bird again. And it flew round and round, and when it came back, in its mouth was a green olive branch. And so Noah knew that somewhere on the earth the green things were growing again. And Noah waited and sent out the bird a 3rd time. And this time it did not come back. So Noah opened the ark, and the animals came out of the ark. And God sent the rainbow, the sign of promise, that never again would there be a flood to destroy all life on earth. God promised to be their God, and Noah and his family promised to be God's people. And God spoke and said, "This is the promise that I make to you. Season after season, I will be faithful. There will be summer and winter, day and night, seed time and harvest, cold and heat." And Noah built an altar and worshipped the Lord.